Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Beta Gamma Sigma Induction Ceremony 2024, the chapter of the University of Hong Kong. I am Cheryl Chan, a BBA Law and LLB Year 3 student. I'm also a BGS member inducted into the HKU chapter this year. Being a BGS member is a great honor as the membership represents academic excellence. Only students with outstanding academic results at the top 10% of their respective programs are eligible for this exclusive membership. Besides the induction of the exclusive BGS membership for students, BGS has also established the Chapter Honoree Award that is awarded for elite business leaders who achieve distinction in their respective industries. Tonight, we are extremely honored to have invited the recipient of the 2024 Chapter Honoree Award, Professor Poman Lo, founder of the Institute of Sustainability and Technology, Vice Chairman and the Managing Director of Regal Hotels Group, to join us tonight. We are also very glad to have our delegated faculty academic members to join us tonight. They are Professor Hongbin Cai, Dean of the HKU Business School. Professor Derek Chen, Associate Dean Undergraduate. Professor Olivia Leung, Associate Dean, Teaching and Learning. Professor Winnie Leung, Assistant Dean, Undergraduate. Professor Vincent Zhang, BSc MAT, Deputy Program Director. Dr. Yifei Zhang, B-Econ and Finance, Deputy Program Director. Before we start reading the ritual, may I first invite Professor Hongbin Cai to come to the stage and give us the welcoming remarks. Professor Cai, please.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to welcome all of you to tonight's Beta Gamma Sigma Hong Kong U Chapter Induction Ceremony. On behalf of Hong Kong U Business School, I'm delighted to meet you all in person and share this joyous moment as the new batch of members. Beta Gamma Sigma is an international honor system society that recognizes exceptional academic achievements in business studies. The name represents honor, wisdom, earnestness, which are qualities that I see in each and every one of you. So congratulations to everybody, every new member. This ceremony not only acknowledges your outstanding academic performance, but also grants you access to an exclusive international platform. Here you can learn from business leaders around the world, acquire the skills and knowledge needed to excel in your future careers, and chart your own path to success. Being a member of Beta Gamma Sigma means being part of a community of exceptional individuals dedicated to quality business education. Each year, we invite outstanding business leaders join us as chapter honorees, sharing their invaluable insights and unique wisdom. This year, we are extremely honored to have Professor Poman Lo as the chapter honoree of 2024. Poman is an extremely distinguished business leader and community leader in Hong Kong and beyond. I'm going to give a more detailed introduction to her later. But one of her strongest passion and achievements is in sustainability and ESG. And we share lots of the vision and commitment together. So Hong Kong U Business School is launching an institute of ESG supported by Hong Kong Jockey Club. And also we are launching 2 new master programs. One is the Master of Climate Governance and Risk Management, and the other is Master of Sustainability, Finance, and ESG in the academic year of 2024-25 and 25-26, respectively. In the undergraduate level, we offer various elective courses with ESG focuses, such as green finance and impact investing, global sustainable investing and ESG integration, and ESG in business and finance. These courses equip our students with up-to-date knowledge on how the global business community engages in this important mission. And you should look out for those courses and looking for the instruction names, because sometimes you will see that Professor Poman will be teaching one of those courses in either the undergraduate program and the TBG programs. Now, the mission of Hong Kong U Business School is to nurture dynamic, responsible business leaders with a global mindset. As we welcome our new members tonight, let us behold the values that make Beta Gamma Sigma special. These values include a commitment to excellency, dedication to service, and a passion for learning. Our members embody these values and have consistently demonstrated them throughout their academic journeys. Congratulations again to our new members. Let's work together to make a positive impact on the world around us. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tai. Please remain on stage for the formal induction. May I now invite Professor Olivia Leung to the stage to induct our students and graduates. Professor Leung, please. Reading the BSG ritual is an essential component of the ceremony to induct new members. 3 student representatives are invited to take part in the ritual reading. They are Ms. Ella Ip, Mr. Andy Lam, and Ms. Juliana Lin.
Members of the University of Hong Kong chapter of Beta Gamma Sigma, we will now proceed with the induction of new members. Chapter Administrator, Professor Oliver Leung, would you please present the candidates?
Professor Tai, more than 100 students and graduates from the Hong Kong U Business School, including those who are in absentee, have accepted the membership invitation of Beta Gamma Sigma. I'm pleased to present them for membership.
You have been honored by an invitation to membership in Beta Gamma Sigma. Because of what you have achieved in academic performance and service, we are delighted to have you join us. Beta Gamma Sigma is the scholastic honor society established to encourage and honor academic achievement in the study of business, cultivate and celebrate leadership and professional excellency, advance the values of the society, and serve its lifelong members. Beta Gamma Sigma is founded on a set of 3 principles which serve as pillars for everything the society does. Each principle is represented by a Greek word. These words coincide with the initials of our society.
Beta is the initial letter of the Greek word babios, which signifies honor. Honor is defined as personal integrity, as well as the excellence of character. It is a prerequisite for those who lead others. It also encourages altruism and enlightened social responsibility and service.
Gamma is the initial letter of the Greek word gnosis, which signifies wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge tested by experience and tempered by discerning judgment. It avoids prejudice and insists on freedom of thought and expression. Those who are wise seek a better comprehension and a more fruitful application of what is known. They engage in a quest for understanding.
Sigma is the initial letter of the Greek word spoude, which signifies earnestness. Earnestness is enthusiasm measured by achievement, reason, and sincerity. It is that dynamic quality that is essential for all great achievements. Persons who reflect earnestness inspire confidence, invite action, and generate progress.
The symbol of beta, gamma, sigma is the key. This symbol also represents our ideals of honor, wisdom, and earnestness, and is inscribed with the Greek letters that represents the society's name. You have heard the principles which members of beta, gamma, sigma endorse and strive to uphold: honor, wisdom, and earnestness. Will you accept these principles as your own? If so, say, I will.
I will.
Now that the principles and symbols of our society has been shared with you, welcome to Beta, Gamma, Sigma. Welcome.
Congratulations, all inductees.
Thank you very much. Professor Tai, please remain on stage. Professor Leung and all student representatives, please be seated. May I now invite Professor Tai to introduce this year's chapter honoree, Professor Poman Lo. Professor Tai, please.
Just now, we have successfully inducted over 100 students into the BGS Hong Kong U chapter. Even though not all of the students can attend the ceremony today, we are equally proud of all of you. We are also extremely honored to have a Professor Poman Lo, a very distinguished leader in business and sustainability, joining us as chapter honoree this year. Before I invite Poman to share some about her thoughts and insights with us, let me introduce her briefly to you all. Among her many achievements, she is the Vice Chairman of Central City International Holding Limited and the Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Regal Hotels Group. She's the founder of Institute of Sustainability and Technology, and she's also our adjunct professor at Hong Kong U, as well as adjunct professor of Hong Kong UST. And as global champion of sustainable development, Poman takes an active leadership role at the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. She was appointed co-chair of the ESBN Finance Task Force and a member of the Executive Committee of ESBN, and served as chair of the Asia Pacific Business Forum Organizing Committee and chair of Asian Pacific Green Deal for Business Committee. And Poman, with the Institute, recently organized a very important summit and conference on One Earth Summit, which brings the Davos to Hong Kong, collaborating with government, corporate, and many international organizations. And this will be running for a few years. I think this is a very significant achievement for Hong Kong. And her achievement started at very young age. She was a child prodigy, and then she was awarded with the Andrew B. Duke Scholarship at the age of 15, and graduated summa cum laude with Bachelor in Psychology from Duke University at the age of 19. She's the only person in Hong Kong history to receive both the Outstanding Young Person of the World Award and the Hong Kong Outstanding Students Award. She's also the first and only female Asian recipient of the Oslo Business for Peace Award. This award is by the Business for Peace Foundation in Norway, selected by an independent committee of the Nobel Prize laureates in peace and economics. In 2023, she was awarded the Business Person of the Year Award at the DHL SCMP Hong Kong Business Awards. And this is just a very brief introduction of a little small set of her many achievements and contributions to Hong Kong and beyond. We're extremely honored to have you today.
Thank you, Professor Tai. Now, let's warmly welcome Professor Poman Lo to the stage to accept the chapter honoree certificate. Professor Lo, please. Professor Poman Lo, please remain on stage. May I now invite Professor Poman Lo to share with us your inspiring thoughts with our newly inducted BGS members. Professor Lo, please.
Professor Tai, Professor Leung, distinguished professors, and my very dear fellow Hong Kong U students. First of all, thank you. It is an immense honor to be the chapter honoree of the Beta Gamma Sigma of the Hong Kong Business School. I've looked at the past list of honorees, and wow, what an honor to be in the same league. So very, very grateful for this honor. And I would love to congratulate each and every one of you to be inducted into this chapter. Hong Kong U is obviously the best, the leading university in Hong Kong, and you are the best of the best. So please give yourself a big round of applause. You should be very proud of your achievement. So I would love to take this opportunity to share a bit on my journey, which actually has taken many twists and turns, as Professor Chai explained. When I was at university, I studied psychology, mainly because I was intrigued by the mind. I was trying to understand myself more. I was also, searching for meaning and purpose in life. But perhaps because I was kind of in a rush, I graduated a bit young and I lacked the emotional maturity, the experience to be of help as a psychologist. So even though I actually enrolled into a master's program at Chinese U, I dropped out because I was a bit lost myself. And I didn't know exactly what I should be doing. So I actually went back to join my family business because I couldn't find a job. Back then it was the Asian financial crisis. And my company was looking for a marketing executive, a rather low-ranking officer position. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to take whatever is available and try to learn. And I really didn't expect to stay in this for over 20 years because I had always had this dream of kind of going back to academia because I did really have a very strong passion for learning. So that's why I really cherish this opportunity to be in the Hong Kong U community because, I've always wanted to contribute to research and development. But there's one thing I can assure you is that through this journey, I never lost this desire to pursue passion in my life because ultimately work makes up the bulk of our time, right? It does take up, even for the average person, it would be 9 to 5. But for those of us here, and I'm sure you have all worked very hard to be inducted. So you probably would spend the majority of your time at work. And imagine if you only consider your work as a means to an end, meaning that the end is obviously, financial reward, recognition. But if you didn't derive any fulfillment and meaning through this process, it would be quite sad because it means that the majority of your time in life is spent on something that is only a means. And the whole process, the journey is not meaningful, which is why I've always wanted to integrate purpose and mission at the core of our corporate strategy, because that's also very important to me. And a lot of people ask me, so why have you become this, sustainability evangelist? And I would say because I consider myself a dog mother. I'm still single, but I don't have human kids. But at the peak, I actually had 14 poodles. So, I consider myself very much a mother. And I took them to nature a lot. And what I found is that, honestly, animals, they share a lot with humans. We share the same world. They also share the same feelings. They also go through life, aging, disease, and death. And I feel that we really do have a responsibility to better protect the one and only planet that we all share with fellow human beings and also with animals. And that is why perhaps I finally decided to launch the first carbon neutral hotel in Hong Kong called iClub 14 years ago, before ESG and sustainability became buzzwords. It was a bold move, but I am proud to say that actually it's proven that it is possible to do well by doing good. Since then, we have opened another 6 iClubs, and it's become a brand that a lot of younger generation, especially those who are environmental conscious and tech savvy, would appreciate. And because of iClub, I've been also investing a lot in green tech ventures. And I would say that it's been very encouraging to see that a lot of companies are actually successful because of the impact they deliver, rather than in spite of. So contrary to public belief, there can actually be a positive correlation between impact and return, which is why I actually launched a fund, an impact fund focusing on green technologies. So as Dean Chai had mentioned, back in March, we had launched the One Earth Summit, and one of the scientists that we invited is Johan Rockström. So he is the rock star in climate science. And the one message that he gave us was that, all scientists around the world are in perfect consensus. I mean, we tend to fight about everything and argue, debate, but there's one thing that no one could debate, and that's the fact that we as human beings are at the beginning of a climate and ecological crisis. And there's only a limited budget. So you've all heard of the Paris Agreement. If we want to meet the 1.5 degree limit, we actually only have 6 years left to actually put our act together and save this world, because there's only roughly about 400 gigatons of carbon budget. And at this rate of about 40 gigatons per year, we only have about 6 years. So we are in this decade of action. If we can collectively wake up instead of heading towards the trajectory, we can actually reverse this. Otherwise, if we continue to fight and bicker and head towards massive destruction, our planet is doomed. There will be irreversible damage. So the good news, though, is from all these scientists is that there is a window of opportunity. The question is whether we, as human race, wake up at this critical juncture in the history of mankind, because we are indeed going through what I would say is the greatest transition in the history of mankind. Because in the past, 100 some years, we've only been focusing on driving economic growth at the expense of underprivileged societies, at the expense of our future generations. Because again, the focus is on just maximizing short-term gains. But I think we have now realized that if we continued down that road, we might not have anything to pass on to our next generations. So I'm just really glad to see the fact that sustainability has now become a top topic around many conferences. So I would like to also share a bit on impact investing. As mentioned, I will be teaching a course next year. So why am I so excited about it? Is because, again, we are going through what is the greatest transition in mankind, and we are running out of time. So just like, how AI has enabled us to develop vaccines in months rather than years, we believe that to help save this world in time, we have to empower the technological solutions. So technology is our only hope, but don't estimate the power of the human mind. We believe that actually to really overcome the most pressing challenges, we have to empower those innovative solutions and breakthrough technologies, disruptive technologies, because those are what we need to catalyze scalable and affordable solutions for decarbonization, reducing emissions at scale and at speed, even across the toughest sectors. So what I really am excited to share is that while sustainability is the defining challenge of our century, it can also be a trillion-dollar opportunity. So the question is how we can transform all these risks into opportunities, and drive impact alongside return. Otherwise, we will only be relying on the philanthropic capital, which is not enough. Um, so the investment thesis of the impact fund that I have established is simple. We believe that the next wave of unicorns will be green tech companies that help us with this transition. Why? Because close to 100 countries have committed net zero pledges, and so have all the Fortune 500 companies out there. So all of a sudden, there's this surge in demand. I would say 20 years ago, it would be impossible. But now I just don't think the next wave of unicorns will still be, entertainment, e-commerce, or all these platform companies. What we need is life-saving technologies. So my fund is set up to be an impact partner for all the startups there, and also to help them commercialize and scale through our ecosystem. Because oftentimes what they need is not just capital, but opportunities to commercialize and scale through the network, and also be given use cases. So why is it that I am an evangelist? Because sadly in Asia, which is obviously the greatest economic growth engine in the world, we do account for almost 2/3 of the world's emissions. But in terms of impact investing, of the total AUM, which is over $1 trillion, dedicated to impact investing, we only account for 17%. So we're obviously lagging behind. However, with young talent like you, I think we actually do stand a good chance to be not just part of the problem, but also the solution. So for those of you who are interested in green tech financing, our fund actually focuses on 3 main verticals: on prop tech, on agriculture and food tech, as well as clean tech. So that includes all the building technologies, new materials, AI energy saving solutions, and for clean tech, all the renewable energy solutions out there, carbon capture solutions, battery storage, and also water treatment solutions. Agri-tech, up to today, there are still over 9 million people dying of hunger. And we need to leverage on technology to grow more food while minimizing the use of natural resources. So what I believe is the major hurdle to progress is actually not lack of a good heart, but lack of conviction in doing well by doing good. There's no lack of environmental awareness either. But the problem is investments into sustainable projects are seldom seen as investments. They are seen as opportunities for philanthropy. So that is the main problem, because most investors, especially in Asia, have made this very strict distinction between philanthropy and conventional investments. So they just don't expect to generate any alpha. And this fallacy has led to missed opportunities where impact investments can actually generate both impact and return. So what we need to do is to bridge this gap and educate investors about the potential and the benefits of impact investing. And what I really am excited about is how we can transform our economies into powerful engines that can drive impact, and how purpose can actually be part of every company's mission. Just the same way as 20 years ago, if a company fails to embrace technology, it goes obsolete, just like Kodak. What I believe is that today, because of the importance of sustainability, if a company does not embrace ESG and manage that properly, it will be doomed to go extinct as well. And also, we want to create a world, an economy where firms that actually create long-term value through solving environmental and social challenges should outperform those that are focused on maximizing short-term profits. So as Dean Chai mentioned, we have organized the One Earth Summit, and thanks to overwhelming support from over 100 global heavyweight speakers, as well as over 1,000 influential participants, we are set to become, I would say, the landmark sustainability gathering in the world. And what we want to do is to not just be a one-off event. First of all, we are counting towards 2030 because it's meant to be a journey. And 2030 may seem very distant, but actually in the grand scheme of things, it's just around the corner. So what we need is a really forward-looking and pragmatic journey. And what we want to encourage is accountability, because ultimately there are a lot of conferences out there where everyone is announcing super aggressive targets. But what we want to do is encourage companies to actually track, monitor, and transparently report on progress, on collective progress. So every year they can come back and let us know what are the obstacles and problems that you have faced. What are some of the best practices that you could share? So that this pathway towards net zero is not just ambitious, but realistic, concrete, and most importantly, measurable. So earlier this year at Davos, we had actually also announced the beginning of the One Earth Alliance, which is meant to be a collaborative platform to unite the most influential family offices, institutional investors, and corporate leaders, as well as academia, to collectively drive this sustainable transition and really pledge the capital to make this happen, because there's a lot of dialogue and discussions out there. I think what we really need is to drive action, to drive actionable solutions. And the only way to do that is to put the money where your mouth is. So this alliance is meant to really accelerate sustainable impact through public, private, and philanthropic partnerships. It focuses on mobilizing capital for innovative solutions that can really make that difference. So I invite you all to also join the youth chapter, because ultimately sustainability is all about the next generation. So we are also working on some new initiatives, such as sustainability training that is focused on driving both the intrinsic and the extrinsic motivation for fostering sustainable business practices. And it will be a platform for sharing sustainable practices, technologies, and also it will be a co-investment platform so that we can all empower those companies that are in need of an ecosystem to help them thrive, and scaling them through a network. And also we are committing to capacity building in the form of sustainability training, because if an organization truly cares about its sustainable performance, it cannot be just training the finance. It should be training everyone in the organization so that every member would actually have sustainability as one of their key KPI, and that sustainability is actually a core pillar in corporate strategy. So in order to do that, we have to really work on sustainable training. And also research is extremely important. How can we actually foster more interdisciplinary research across various sectors and disciplines, because the whole world needs to work together. Now, what we really need is transformative leadership, and also an awakening of what we really want to achieve in life. I think, again, this is not a destination that we are talking about. As mentioned, we are going through this sustainability challenge as the greatest transition, and no one in this room or in this city or no single country any company knows exactly how to do it, because none of us has done it before. But what I can say for sure is that we need to do it together. So I think ultimately, I really hope to be able to invite you all to join in our initiatives, and also to foster more collaborative opportunities, because we can always learn from each other. Even within my own organization, every single member, there's something I can learn from them. So don't be afraid to suggest ideas, because again, sustainability is all about the future. And I hope that we can all, when you go out there and start a new career, embark on a new career, or you might want to start your own venture, start with why. Start with a mission in mind, because I can assure you that, in my many years of investments, the founders that really excel and really make it to the end and that can eventually become unicorns, they are the ones who are driven to solve bigger problems for the world. None of them is focused on maximizing short-term profits. And I also think that believe that in a company, embracing purpose is the key to success. And in life, embracing purpose is the key to sustainable well-being and happiness as well. And I just want to end by saying we only have one planet, so let's save it for the future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lo. Please be seated. BGS members from local universities, including HKU, have joined together to form a BGS Hong Kong alumni chapter, and it is the first alumni chapter outside the United States. The chapter aims to serve more than 5,000 BGS members in Hong Kong. They offer a bundle of benefits such as newsletters, networking functions, industry and executive talks. We are excited to have representative from BGS Hong Kong Alumni Chapter, Sponsorship Director Ms. Norna Lee, to join us for the ceremony. Thank you for your support. Please note that the application form and information pamphlets of the BGS Hong Kong Alumni Chapter will be sent to you by email after the ceremony, so please stay tuned. Now, to wrap up today's ceremony, everyone, please remain in your seats and let's have a group photo.